Alright, what is going on, guys? My name is Cypherfox and we're back to Yugioh 5Ds Decades Duel. And this time we're gonna show you how to create a fairy deck. There's many ways to create a fairy deck because there's so many fairies out there. Some that increase life points, some that decrease life points, some that gain a difference in attack depending on how much life points you have, etc, etc. There's, you know, tons of fairies out there. So first I'll show you how I personally made my fairy deck. I've kind of made a little bit of everything, sort of, a little bit. Okay, so first of all, we'll go with Lily right here. I actually like Lily because once you use her for a synchro summon, you can actually pay 500 life points, and that synchro monster gains 1,000 attack for pretty much for one turn until the end phase, which is pretty nice because you pay, you know, a little bit just so you can get it higher by 1,000. And in this case, I'll show you guys a little bit soon that why life points difference is gonna matter in this deck. Okay, I have this thing. I don't even know how to sell it, like Glenduo, something like that. I don't know how to pronounce it. Remember, English isn't my first language, but let's go ahead and do this. So this card cannot be destroyed by battle, obviously. So if it's in defense position, it can't be destroyed. Bad news is if they have a card that can actually deal life points damage, it's gonna happen unless you have Sky Guardian, I think, or what was it? Sanctuary of the Sky. Sorry, Sky Guardian. What was I thinking? What was I thinking? So this is why I have this card, and that way you can also have an attack position. And as long as Sanctuary of the Sky is there, they can't do anything about this card, even if it's in defense position, because you will not take any life points damage for fairies, no matter what. Heart Ace, something like that. Heart Ice, something like that. Hit or something, I don't know. Again, it's hard to pronounce for me. You can discard this card to graveyard to add one by Hall of the Fallen, which is a great card because you can summon any fairy monster no matter how many stars from your hand, as long as you have no monsters. Sadly, they do not stack. These do not stack. You can't stack them like they do with Whirlwind. You can't stack them like Whirlwind, sadly. So you can all do this once, but there is a catch. You could place both of them down, and if you summon, let's say, Athena, let's just say you summon Athena, right? And she dies. On your main phase 2, you can actually activate the second one and summon another high-level monster if you wish from your hand and have that there. So that can work. That can work. Just make sure you have no monsters, you know. So they can stack in that kind of a sense, but they don't, you know. If you have no monsters, you can't activate Hall of the Fallen and activate Hall of the Fallen and then, you know, chain them. You can't do that, sadly. But that's a good way to get this card out fast. Honest, it's obviously one of the best cards in the game, in my opinion, just because if someone attacks you, you activate Honest and, you know, you gain their attack, so they're gonna take life points damage just like that. So Honest is a very good card. It's very nifty for fighting off Five-Headed Dragon, because since it's a light monster, you can actually kill Five-Headed Dragon. I've done this before plenty of times, so that's a good way to fight off Five-Headed Dragon. Alright, this is another stalling card I have. Everyone has this most likely. Marshmallow. That's Marshmallow. I just call him Marshmallow. I call him Marshmallow. Okay, so pretty much if this card's on face down and it flips, the opponent's gonna take 1,000 damage, and this can't be destroyed by battle, but you can take life points damage if they have something that's gonna take the difference of it in defense position, like the attack and defense difference. If it has that kind of effect, then you will take a life points difference, which will suck because then you can't get rid of this card. But if you have, again, you have Sky, you're gonna be fine because it is a fairy, so you'll be alright. Alright, now Sky Paladin, one of my favorite cards. I love this card. Pretty much you can special summon this card if you have Air Knight, which is over here. You can do that, but there's a catch to this card. One thing is you can actually, the difference in life points affects how much attack he has as long as Sky's on the field. So let's say Sky's on the field and you have 8,000 life points and he has 4,000 life points. Well, guess what? You just gained 4,000 life points in attack, and you can pretty much kill off a Five-Headed Dragon like that, because you add 4,000 plus 2,300, which is going to be 6,300, So you're already stronger than a 5-headed dragon. And since you're light, you can actually kill it. So pretty much, it's a really strong card. I like it. Also, it does, if it's in defense position, you can also deal extra damage as well. Because even if it's in defense position, you can attack it and, you know, take its life points away from it. So it's this card I really like its effect. It's really powerful for a fairy type monster, in my opinion. Alright, Nova Summoner. I like this card. If you have Sky on the field, you can actually get Air Knight in the field. Because normally you can only get a light fairy type monster with 1,500 attack or less. Which then I would probably get Lily, or I would get Marshton, usually Marshton, which the Marshmallow as I call it, like I said before. Sometimes I get Nova Summoner, sometimes, and sometimes I get Shining Angel. But most of the time it's this stalling card. Good way to get them out. Also, if you have, as I said before, you can get Sky, you can actually summon Air Knight, and the next turn you could probably special summon Sky Paladin, which is going to help a lot. Alright, so next we have, well, Sky Paladin. Like I said, he works good with that effect. Sadly, he is a 5-star monster, so you would have to sacrifice one monster to get him out, sadly. So unless you use Nova Summoner's effect with Sanctuary of the Sky. So there's a little tip for you in that. But he does do piercing battle damage to your opponent if it's in defense position. You will also draw one card. I think Sky Paladin does that too. Yeah, he does. Yep, he does. So you do draw a card too. So pretty much, he's very nifty. He's very nifty with those drawing cards too. I'm gonna show you another combo you can do. Athena's really good. Once you get Athena out on the field, once you normal summon a monster, or you can actually flip summon as well, you'll inflict 600 damage points to your opponent. And once it's turn, you can actually take one of the fairies and send them to the graveyard, and you can actually bring them back, and that will count as a summon, and you can inflict 600 points of damage. So pretty much every turn you will be able to deal 600 life points of damage to them. So that's a nifty, cool trick. Alright, let's go with Shining Angel, just there to get you a light monster out. Mostly likely either Nova Summoner or the Marshmallow, most likely. Sometimes Lily, sometimes Lily. Alright, Soul Purity of Light. I only have one of these. I was thinking of putting two, but then I was like, nah, because you have to you can special summon this card, and that's the only way you can do it, is by removing 2 light monsters from your graveyard, which, you know, most of your monsters are light. The only one that's not light is Lily, so I think the Lily is the only one who's not light. Let me check. I'm just making sure. Yeah, it's Lily only. Yep, Lily's the only one, so you can't use Lily as a card. But you're gonna have lots of light type monsters, so summoning this card usually isn't a problem. Alright, Goddess of Light, another one of my favorite cards. Only have one of them because it's not that easy to summon. Well, when this card is summoned, you draw a fairy type monster, you can reveal it, and you will draw another card. This actually works with Air Knight's effect and as well as Sky Paladin. So you can pretty much draw a card and you can show it and keep drawing pretty much, as long as it's a fairy, and most of the cards are going to be fairies because there's 27 cards that are fairies. Everything else is magic and or trap. So there's that. That's a quick nifty combo. It also works when you draw a card, of course, just regular draw phase. But yeah, okay, so we have Herald of the Heaven. I usually use him so I can get Sanctuary of the Sky really quickly. Just so I can get Sanctuary of the Sky really quickly. Because he dies, actually, if you do not have Sanctuary of the Sky. Which kind of sucks, because they remove that, then there he goes, and you can't use his effect. Alright, so Heavy Storm, self-explanatory why you need it. Destroy those magic trap cards. Monster Reborn, another self-explanatory. Again, Mystic Space Typhoon, another self-explanatory. I usually like getting rid of their magic and trap cards as quickly as often as I can, as you guys noticed. Swords of Radiant Light, another stalling card. I usually like stalling so I can get the cards I need. Usually it works out, sometimes it doesn't. Sanctuary Slot of the Sky is obviously a big card you need. It's a very big card you need. Hall of the Fallen actually helps out. It's not needed, but I would suggest having it because it's really good to summon a high level monster out quickly. Bottomless Trap Hole, get rid of, you know, their monsters just in case. Dark Bribe, just in case. You know, you never know, it activates something good. Magical Cylinder, this actually works with Sky Paladin. That's why I have Magical Cylinder, just in case, so I can get them strong. Let's say a 5-headed dragon attacks me. I activate Magical Cylinder and I have Sky on the field. He'll take 500 life points of damage, and then I most likely will probably take the lead, and Sky Paladin will get more attack points that way. So that's a little nifty trick I would like to do. And here's Mirror Force, obviously need a trap card. So that's it for main deck. Let's go to extra deck. I have Ancient Fairy Dragon. Once per turn you can special summon one level 4 lower monster from your hand. I don't usually do that, but I do the field spell card sometimes to gain 1,000 life points, just in case if I have 2 Sanctuary Disguise in my hand. That way I can get Sky Paladin and get some more attack points that way, and it's also a fairy type monster, so works with Sky's effect. Alright, Ancient Scared Wyvern, you know, 1 light or 1 more non-tuner. Life points are higher, same thing, except for this is actually a gamble, because when your life points are lower, this card's gonna actually decrease. So it's not like Sky Paladin. It's not like Sky Paladin. But you can also pay 1,000 life points to get this card back, so there's a good note just in case if you have more life points. Just in case. Avenging Knight, or Avenging Knight, I just call it because I can't, you know, name that out. I actually like this card because you can actually change the position of the monster, as well as you can inflict the difference in battle damage if it's in defense. It works very good with Paladin too. I used it to make a comeback a couple of times. Just a couple times. Alright, I have Dragon Barrier just because you can discard how many cards from your hand, and then you can pretty much return the field cards away. Good way to end a duel, I would suggest. Alright, we got Gyro Guardian. It's actually a pretty good nifty card to have just because its effect. Obviously a lot of people have this card. A lot of people have this card because it's very useful. You only can have one because its effect is too good, pretty much. But yeah, it's a good card to have. Alright, Magical Android, another point card that increases your life points. Goes well with Sky Paladin as well. You increase those life points up, you know, every turn just because you have this card there. Stardust Dragon, self-explanatory, one of the best synchro monsters in the game. So that's a good card to have. And that's it pretty much for the fairy deck lesson, pretty much. So go ahead and leave your suggestions of what decks you want me to make, play, etc., etc. Until then, I guess we'll see you guys later.